Good morning. It should be afternoon where I sit. I'm very disturbed about this aircraft that was shot down over over Russia. It is a pitiful deal, and I've heard that the people over there on the ground, and I'm not sure who they are, but looting the bodies, stealing gold, stealing credit cards, that kind of thing. I think you ought to have to turn in your nuclear warheads. You only have power because of 8,000 nuclear warheads. I got news for you. They don't know how to use them, and watching the Olympics in the beautiful country of Russia, they should not be allowed to have the World Cup soccer event in no way. If they turned those missiles over, those SAMs over to the rebels and instructed them in how to use them, they should be no longer allowed to have their nuclear weapons. I had a whole different thought about Mr. Putin until some things have gone down. He probably grew up in a household where there were 10 buckets in the bedroom called slop jars, and you had to, you sit down on a slop jar, and you ain't lived till you sat on a slop jar and squirted out some turds. But I'll tell you something, buddy, that is a pathetic mess over there on the ground. The absolute horror of those families knowing that their loved ones are stacked around and stolen from, and in the name of a cover-up about who shot it down. This is really ridiculous. If it was an accident, call it an accident. But buddy, I'll tell you something. If I were President of the United States, I would be making some hot phone calls, and I mean the kind of phone calls that you don't want to hear. There wouldn't be any sanctions about economics. There would be sanctions about hot nuclear warheads, cremating some of those morons over there in Russia. To think that I have been afraid of that crowd over there, that makes me sick to my stomach. Anyway, I really and truly think that Russia needs to go back to school in everything they're doing. A country as rich in culture as they are, and to think that they lie and do the things that they do and still allowed to do it because everybody's afraid of their nuclear warheads. Well, okay, let's just get it on. It'd be a good time to do some rebuilding. We could melt some mountains over there and go over there and take over all the oil they got and all this stuff. But I'll tell you something, buddy. I am not afraid of those people because they're the kind that, you'll be laying in your bed and you'll wake up and there'll be one of them standing over you with a blade about to cut your throat. But I'll tell you, it's pitiful. My heart goes out to the families. It really does. Now come on, US of A, let's do something about this crap called Russia and this other moron called Putin. On the way out, the Big Zen 1010. Bye-bye, folks.